I'm not the type of person to really travel down this kind of a conspiracy-like black hole. Actually, I'm lying. Yes, I am. It has been raining for the past 8 weekends out of the 11 weekends since start of spring. Right, that's like around March 20th. 8 out of the 11 weekends it has been raining, and the temperatures have been below average on average, and it has been cloudy most of those days. Now, it's kind of weird, don't you think, where during the week or in the middle of the week, you will have one, two, maybe three if you're lucky, mostly sunny, but most of the time it's going to be partly cloudy. It's going to be cloudy in the morning, maybe cloudy in the afternoon. And then right around 5, 6 o'clock, you'll see the sunset, or you'll see the sun beginning to go or come beneath the clouds at around the sunset hour. And then, to nobody's surprise, it seems, it begins to rain basically at perfect timing. It's Friday night, just most of Saturday, and then on and off during Sunday as well. And it's been happening for 8 out of the 11 weekends so far since the beginning of spring. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm finding it much easier to now speculate. Maybe there is something else going on. I mean, it does seem a little bit weird, don't you think? Like, let's just play, devil's advocate here, right? If an entity would want to keep or the majority of population, the majority of people indoors for whatever reason, right? What would be the best way to do that, or the most effective way to do that, if they had the ability to do it, right? Well, I would imagine the best and most effective way to do that during the spring and summer times of the season, where people love going out and congregating outside and enjoying outdoor activities, or going to the beach, going down the shore, whatever it is. During this time, what better way to do that? What better way to keep people indoors other than making the weather not ideal for going outside? This would include cloudy, gloomy weather, a bit on the cooler side, very unseasonal, and make it rain. I mean, almost no one is going to go out and enjoy the outdoors while it's raining. I mean, yes, there are some people who are just, they don't give a shit and they go outside, like, I try to do. But most of the people are going to be indoors and try to do indoor activities, and it's that. If we're just playing devil's advocate now, I'm not saying this is what's happening, but if we're just let's say we're just hypothesizing, right? Let's say we're just playing hypothetical here, right? That would be the most effective way to do it, right? There would be no other way, right? Well, then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just travel down this dark hole, right? Let me just see what's going on here, right? And then I find this article here. Sponsored by PBS and NPR here. I mean, take those sources for what you want, for what you wish, whatever. A tourniquet for the planet. A tourniquet for the planet. Now, you know what a tourniquet is, right? A tourniquet is a device. When applied, it stops the blood flow completely from going past the tourniquet point of restriction. It restricts the blood vessels to the point where no blood can pass that point. It's oftentimes used where people have penetrating injuries and they are quite literally bleeding out. Most of the time, it's due to an arterial bleed, and the bleed is of high pressure. And to save the person's life, because if you don't apply some kind of device to stop the bleeding, the person will die from blood loss, right? So a tourniquet is applied just above the point of injury to restrict the blood vessels in that area so that no more blood can be let out of the body, right? So essentially saving the person's life, right? Or at least until the person can seek definitive medical care, right? So a tourniquet for the planet. Now, what is the planet bleeding? I mean, ask yourself, what is bleeding out of the planet that a headline such as this, a tourniquet for the planet? What are we bleeding? What does that even mean, right? Scientists say it's important to research geoengineering, large-scale attempts to cool the planet to fight climate change. In case we ever need it, fight climate change, okay? That's change. But the technologies are risky. Yeah, no shit, right? No shit. Florida will soon outlaw testing them in the state airspace. Well, this is state airspace. It's great. Florida's doing that, whatever, but these state provisions really have no power over federal provisions. So the federal agencies, if they wish, don't have to abide by these state laws as I understand it. I could be wrong. As I understand it, these are great for whatever small scale stuff, right? At the state level, but at the federal level, I mean, the way I understand it, I could be wrong again. At the federal level, I don't think this really applies, right? Let's go a little bit deeper here. At his lab in the Florida State University Department of Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Sciences in Tallahassee, Michael Diamond researches how the interplay of clouds and tiny atmospheric particles called aerosols could influence the climate. Diamond studies how such particles, when released from ships as they travel across the ocean, affect clouds and can cool temperatures in the waters below. If particles released into the air from ships provide local cooling, could they be released purposefully? On the large scale, like planetary air conditioning? Now, to me, this is the epitome of what you would have called a conspiracy theory not too long ago, right? I mean, it doesn't really take a genius to realize that this is probably not a good idea, right? It's probably not a good idea, right? These are the kinds of questions asked by geoengineering, the science of how to cool the planet to fight climate change. Scientists like Diamond study solutions such as reflecting sunlight back into space. Reflecting sunlight back into space. So we are dimming the Earth. We are dimming the Earth. And that is just putting it oversimplistically. It's an oversimplification. Yes, we're dimming the Earth, but just imagine the domino cascade of effects that this has, right? From plant life, vegetation, animal life, ecosystems, to our own human bodies, right? Which require sunlight to produce certain hormones for our overall general health and well-being, right? That could entail releasing aerosols into the stratosphere from high altitude planes, or in the case of Diamond's research, brightening marine clouds from ship decks. Guys, I mean, just reading this makes me a little bit angry that, you know, this was once thought of to be one of those, you know, if you talk about stuff like this, you're like an outcast, right? But apparently, you know, I mean, they're claiming they're researching it now, right? But really, all you have to do is look up at the sky and, okay, you know, whatever you want to think about it, whether those airplanes are, you know, contrails, or, I mean, chemtrails, whatever you want to call it, cloud seeding, whatever you want to call it, right? If you have been, if I mean, and I know that, you know, correlation is not necessarily causation here, right? But at the very least, a question should be, you know, brought up, right? A question should be raised. If I'm seeing the stripes of whatever you want to call it, contrails, chemtrails, cloud seeding, if after a certain amount of time of seeing these things, where previously the sky was blue and it was sunny, right? The sky was blue and it was sunny, right? And after seeing these things, after seeing these things, it becomes cloudy all of a sudden, right? After seeing these things, it becomes cloudy all of a sudden. Okay, fine. That's it could be coincidental, right? It could be coincidental. No problem, right? No problem. But I've been here for for a while, for many years, right? I'm reaching 40. Okay. Every time first of all, I don't really remember this too much happening during my childhood, right? I don't really remember this happening. I don't really remember. Maybe I don't remember. Period. Right? Maybe I was just so cracked out during my childhood. I don't actually remember even looking at the damn sky, right? But during my childhood, I do not remember this. And for some reason, during my childhood, the sun always looked golden yellow, and the sky was always blue, right? The sun right now, even on a relatively clear day, does not really have the same color tinge to it, right? It's a bit on the lighter yellow side, bordering lighter yellow to yellow white, right? It just to me, I'm again we're speaking hypotheticals here, right? I know this is a crazy topic. Trust me, it's a crazy thing to think about that there are entities out there that are literally modifying the weather, blocking sunlight, and dimming the earth in the name of what they call climate change, right? But here we have just one article here. I mean, I'm sure if I do a little bit more research or what I call research, but it's actually just typing in a search engine and just trying to come up with articles, right? But this is just one article and it's the most recent one, and it's this headline is just really interesting. It's an interesting headline because a tourniquet stops blood loss, stops fluid loss. So, what is a tourniquet for the planet exactly? What is that? What does that mean, right? Let's look at this video right here, right? Let's look at this video right here. Sustainable farmer Steve Jarvis needs your help. Recently in DC with his farm, Plan for America, Steve's pushing for a meeting with the President of the United States and Pete Hegseth. Send pics of food producing plants and trees damaged by geoengineering to this Steve at sas-usa.com. He needs 1 million photos. Nothing's organic anymore, he claims. I understand creation and something is out of order. There are 37,000 geoengineering patents in Washington. His apple trees got burned and bean crops turned yellow in 24 hours. If this is the path to get in front of this, if this is the path to get in front of this administration, let's get this done. I don't know, man. All I know is this, right? This could all be an absolute nothing burger, right? With fries and a milkshake. Want your seed oils in your foods? Want that burger meal, that nothing burger meal? This could be that, right? Could be that. But all I know is from where I'm standing, and I could be a total idiot. Maybe I'm an idiot. I mean, I probably am an idiot, right? But I can sense a pattern here where I look up at the sky. I look up at the sky and it's clear. On the rare occasion that it's clear. Then I see these straight line cloud shaped, cloud color looking like clouds coming from airplanes, right? Okay, fine. Let's say they're contrails, right? Let's say they're contrails. I mean, so what? If these contrails are reflecting the sunlight back into space and dimming the earth and therefore causing cloudiness and as a result precipitation shortly thereafter, I mean, it doesn't matter what you call it, it's not a good thing, in my opinion, right? It's not a good thing, and I'm just tired of it. I really am tired of it. I mean, you know what? I mean, of course, life's gonna go on. I mean, I can't do it. I'm powerless to do anything about this. But what I am not powerless to do anything about is using my head here. And again, maybe I'm an idiot, and I probably am. But I mean, I can't deny that there's not at least a pattern emerging. And I've been noticing a pattern, and as I'm sure many people have for a long time now, right? But this is just you know, it's getting to a point where, like, okay, now it's getting pretty ridiculous. You know, I mean, now it's getting pretty ridiculous. 8 out of the 11 weekends up here in the Northeast have been cloudy, rainy, and for the season, it's been below average temperatures. Yeah, like yeah, I mean, you're gonna argue now that yeah, during the weekdays and during the middle of the week, we have had some above average temperatures and has been dry and has been sunny. But like clockwork, every weekend there is a rain or wet pattern or a measurable precipitation pattern going on here. And I just find that weird. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I just find that weird. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just really, really going crazy here. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.